Echoes of Wisdom just came out and I've wasted no time playing through the game all the way up to its first dungeon. So come with me as we discuss and walk through the beginnings of what's bound to be a majorly exciting adventure. Let's go! So we actually start by taking control of Link, right before the events of the first trailer inside a dungeon. Now we get to play it out, and after a classic Ganon fight, we defeat him, but his trident weapon sucks us into the still world and now it's up to Zelda to save the day. Hold, jump, 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 jump. Aw, they don't let you. Oh, maybe not, okay, I don't want to jump anymore, get me out of here! After a successful escape, we are escorted out to the castle by 2 guards and make it into Castle Town, where we have full control of Zelda for the first time. And what a lively little town this is! Everyone was worried about the sudden disappearance of Zelda, who was missing for a whole week. But now, they're relieved to have us back! Vibes are great. Perks of being royalty include bathing in the central square fountain and no one seems to mind, and jumping on people's roofs unprompted. Neat! Oh, it's a good time to mention that this game has 360-degree movement.
Isn't that just normal for top-down Zelda?
Nope. Old school Zelda didn't have this much freedom of movement at all, and even the remake for Link's Awakening kept us from walking outside predetermined angles. But here, full movement control, and a jump button. Controls feel fantastic. Returning back to the game, we walk inside Hyrule Castle and are greeted by Impa, who promptly tells us to go take a bath. As the Princess of Hyrule, we reserve the right to ignore her advice and head straight into the throne room to talk to the king. This is where we get told about the sudden appearance of rifts all over Hyrule, kidnapping children to never be seen again, and apparently, now adults are not safe either. Our nice conversation is interrupted by the fact that a massive rift emerges in this very room. The king, in a brave display of heroism and courage, saves us from impending doom. Now run! Go save yourself! And the 2 goofballs just kill themselves nice. In classic Mystery Rift Goop fashion, the Mystery Goop spits out evil, twisted versions of our friends, now our enemies. The king gaslights the guards into thinking Zelda is a being powerful enough to create rifts through time and space and has us locked up in the castle's jail. But joke's on him, I love secluded lonely spaces with no one to bother me. I've been an introvert all my life, so this will be no problem for me. There's even word the king plans on putting her to death to save the kingdom. Jesus Christ, okay, maybe this will be a problem for me. Thankfully, a magic floating blob called Tri shows up to offer assistance, and after a funny 4th wall breaking joke about the fact these bars are totally walk-throughable, we receive the Tri-Rod. Or, sorry, we borrow the Tri-Rod. No, I'm not giving it back. And so the wondrous adventures of Zelda, Sage of Tables, can begin. We masterfully execute spy tactics to escape the jail and meet up with Impa, who thankfully has played Among Us before and recognizes the king as an imposter, and we were just sabotaged. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, as this interaction leaves us with the knowledge that Tri, much like myself, faces the problem of being invisible to 99% of individuals. I wonder if it's something I'm doing. I love secluded lonely spaces with no one to bother me. I've been an introvert all my life. Nah, couldn't be. Everyone's just stupid. Unfortunately, we are still under the death penalty for our crimes, and leaving the jail without a disguise is a no-go. Wait. Oh my god, you're a genius! No one can tell who we are now! Oh crap, the guards are coming! Oh god, what we do now? Just an innocent old lady and a girl with too many tables in her pockets. Oh, okay. Map received, main quest updated. Time to get out of this prison once and for all. With the power of household furniture, we make it outside to a little green area, and look! We can spin around to break grass! This is incredible! 10 out of 10 game. We jump into a well, and, well... we're in 2D now. Yeah, this game seamlessly merges top-down and 2D side-scrolling gameplay, and I really like the way it's implemented. In this room, we can already see some useful tools, and the potential for puzzle making is through the roof. We'll just have to wait to see if it lives up to the hype as we progress through the game. Take this boulder echo, for example. We can use it on top of crates underwater to open a path, or we can use the crates themselves that float already to create platforms that allow for progression. Really cool stuff so far. What isn't cool is another chase sequence, oh god, Zelda, run! Or rather, swim, because we're about to be washed away to the southern shores of Hyrule where our adventure can truly begin. The first real area, Sudorn Beach, or however you pronounce that name. Also, look at this clean map interface, wow. I can't exactly tell how big the game is at the moment, but it looks like the biggest map we've had in a 2D Zelda. Exciting stuff! Oh, what's that in the map I see? It's so small, zoom in. Enhance? Oh my god, it's beautiful. You should click it right now. Subscribe. We make our way to Soothorn Village nearby, and the villagers can't shut up about this guy called Link. He can use a sword better than anyone. Excuse me, sir, this is the Legend of who again? Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me have this one for once. It's been almost 40 years. But in a more serious note, we can even find Link's house here. Attention to detail, as always with the Zelda franchise, is really impeccable. We can also get a trampoline echo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Boing, boing, boing. Whoa, wait, what are we doing again? Oh yeah, rifts everywhere, people are dying. This guy's wife fell in the hole. Skill issue much. But we can find the time to help. So we need to find some way of getting around this massive rift. And the forest just east of here seems to do the trick. We'll fight our way through moblins and even catch on fire a couple of times, collecting resources from chests along the way and unlocking some fast travel waypoints. Seems to me that we've just unlocked the game's gameplay loop, and I've already developed an addiction to spinning around everywhere instead of running. Oh god, this will be an adventure for the ages. Sparkly hole in the rift? No. Big sparkly hole in the rift. Let's hop in, with consent this time. And into the still world we go. Welcome to the stilled southern forest area, because they've spent all their creativity juice making the areas themselves and there was none left for naming things. A tragic fate befalls those who are unfortunate enough to find themselves stuck in the still world, as their bodies remain petrified, slowly being consumed by the darkness, until there is nothing that remains. Speaking of, look, found that guy's wife. Petrified. Skill issue much. But no worries, it will not happen to us because we are special. I knew Mom was right. This part of the still world is a linear collection of small islands that leads to the game's first dungeon at the end, Soothorn Ruins, which happens to be the place we start the game in, where we were locked up by Ganon. But before we can get to exploring the dungeon itself, I got hurt. They hurt me. That's mean. But no worries, because the healing system from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is back for Zelda's first adventure. Refreshing grapes, electro apples, and floral nectar all can be consumed at any moment to heal the player. You still have naturally spawning hearts in the world that will help you heal, but if you're ever close to death, opening up your inventory and satiating your appetite remains an option to heal all wounds. And now, the main attraction. I know everyone's been wondering, the dungeons in Tears and Breath weren't that great. How will Echoes stack up when compared to the masterful design of the Zeldas of old? Oh, we have a lot to unpack with this one. Welcome to Soothorn Ruins, Echoes of Wisdom's first dungeon, and it is fantastic! We start by unlocking a new ability, the one shown in the trailers. It looks like Ultra Hand from Tears, but here it works by binding you to an object, making it mimic your movement, regardless of how big the object is. Already, getting a new ability from a dungeon isn't something we've seen in a while, but that in and of itself doesn't mean much, so let's head into the dungeon and see what awaits. 2 floors. Dungeon map. Chests and ladder markings, puzzle solving involving abilities unlocked in the dungeon itself, various side paths leading to optional treasure, a mini-boss fight. Halfway through. Unlocking yet another ability, the introduction of a new mechanic in the form of equipment, unlocking the heart pin. Equipping it makes hearts appear more often. Wait. Equipment can be hidden in chests. Meaningful rewards for optional puzzle solving inside dungeons. My god. Boss keys are back. And a cool looking puzzly boss fight at the end? Are we back? Am I allowed to say we're back? Because I think we are so back. Okay. Manage the hype. I don't expect to unlock any more abilities in the dungeons to come, unless they've hidden them from the trailers. But the layout of this one, I was scared, deathly scared, of one thing. Link, there are 5 terminals remaining. I did not want that to be the structure of these dungeons. I am tired of the terminal bullfluff, and the way that it was implemented in Breath of the Wild was okay. But in my humble opinion, they fumbled Tears of the Kingdom's dungeons hard. So, to see a dungeon that rewards puzzle solving skills the way this one does, followed by the introduction of so many new mechanics, I didn't even mention reverse bond or the fact that every new echo functions like a new item would in the Zelda games of old. Okay, we're ready to leave the dungeon. Tri gets a new echo slot thingy and levels up. We get a heart container and save all of Tri's little friends. They're able to repair the rift and bring the dungeon and its surrounding area back into the overworld, unlocking new areas to explore previously locked behind dungeon completion. Is that linearity in my open world Zelda game? Question mark? Question mark? Is that a satisfying progression system baked into the story? We might really be back, huh? But regardless, we talk to the minister who has now come back to life after we fixed the rift. Sadly, she's already proven herself quite the unintelligent individual and fails to recognize Zelda in her cloak. After taking off our disguise for a second, her 2 brain cells fire for the first time and she explains that the place Impa had marked on our map is actually the home of Impa's brother. And so, accompanied by the minister, Zelda and Tri set off towards adventure, towards the future of 2D Zelda. These were my initial thoughts on Echoes of Wisdom. I am super excited to play through the entire thing this coming week, and rest assured, a full review video will be coming out as soon as I can realistically make one that doesn't suck. And hey, maybe if people like this style of commentated playthrough, I can make more too. So be sure to let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to see more stuff from me. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye!